Hello everyone, welcome back to Zero Tolerance TV. I am ZT. We've got a continuation of the first group here in the 2006 Shinhan Bank OSL. It's going to be two players we've seen before already. Got the blue Terran in the right, it's iloveOov. Oh, actually, that's the bottom left. I lied. And his opponent, ChoJJa. I believe he beat yellow. So these are the two players at 1-1. I'm not entirely sure on the format, but I think it might be like the sort of winners bracket or winners group format, like with GSL, where the two winners play off against each other, the two losers will play, and then the loser of the winner's match and the winner of the loser's match will play to see who gets the second spot. I do know that two of the, I think it's 4 players make it through groups, so I'm thinking that's what it is. Not sure though. These are all best of ones, so it's a pretty quick group. Today you'd often see like the best of 3 groups, so quite a few more games potentially in that format. Looks like a pretty close barracks to the ramp. I'm not sure if there's a good wall on this map. The map is Rush Hour 3, so we'll have to watch out for Jackie Chan just appearing. You never know. Chris Tucker may also be sighted. We'll have to see. I think this is a hatch first from ChoJJa, and iloveOov is 2-raxing. Okay. So this should definitely be aggressive. I don't think there is a Terran build that goes for this quick of 2 racks. That isn't, that isn't looking to maybe pull the boys and go do some damage or something. I know 2 racks can lead into a macro game, but you do need to get a couple drones to sort of recoup that loss. And the nice thing about it is sometimes you just kill them. Sometimes you get that bunker in their natural, and they just can't really win. So pretty good build. Still seen all the way in 2022, excuse me. 2002 is, well, before this game was even played, actually. Okay, so iloveOov gets to scout the timing on the hatchery. Should know it was a hatch first, and just starts his bunker under the Overlord. So Cat's kind of out of the bag on this one. We'll have to see what ChoJJa decides to do. Wow, that was a preemptive face cover. I'm pretty impressed. She had some foresight there. Got to make sure that her teachers don't know she's watching StarCraft instead of being in class. Totally understandable though. I mean, I'd much rather watch StarCraft, and honestly, is going to school really gonna help? Nah, just go learn StarCraft. That's more important. So far, iloveOov has been hiding the fact that it's a 2-rack. He's got those 2 Marines just kind of sitting next to the barracks. I guess this is to sort of, I don't know what this. It's kind of weird to show your opponent that you want to be aggressive, and then kind of force them or make them get lings and then attack them again. But maybe his plan is just to say, well, but actually the Marines get scouted there, so ChoJJa knows. I guess the plan there is to be like, oh, I'm just 1-raxing, it's a quick pressure. You don't have anything to worry about, I'm done with it. Oh, by the way, actually, no. I'm walking into your natural with 6 Marines right now, when you don't expect that. But ChoJJa did scout it, so he shouldn't die here, I would think. And yeah, with those lings popping, it looks like he's probably actually going to clean up these Marines really efficiently. So it looks like it's going to be a pretty good surround, although the Marines do manage to slip through there. Okay, so first sunk is done. Second creep colony is started, and in the meantime, iloveOov has floated his racks back to his main and started his command center. So yeah, we're going to be going to a later game here. Killed a drone. Pretty nice. force an extra sunk, force some lings. Actually, that sunk did get canceled. No idea who that is. He did not want to be on camera though. Wasn't pleased about it at all. Okay, and Hydras are popping out now. Interesting, ChoJJa decided to restart his second creep colony. Kind of wondering what's up with that. Not really sure. So for iloveOov, he did get a little bit of damage done, and he didn't lose all his Marines like I thought he was about to. So, pretty solid opening for him overall. It should be fine to go into a macro game from here. It's very safe with this big Marine army right now and double Rex production. Seems pretty unlikely that these Hydras are going to kill him off, especially if he builds a bunker. Haven't seen yet, but seems like a pretty good idea. And turns off and just build the bunker. Be safe. Maybe with the sort of, I don't want to say failed rush, he wants to be a little more greedy. Okay, and we see what the plan for ChoJJa is now. Lurker eggs have started. What sort of detection is there for iloveOov? I haven't seen an eBay. Obviously there's no turrets out here yet, but the lurker eggs are not done morphing. I think the plan here is just basically to run on top of the ramp and burrow. Or see how far in he can get, basically. Oh my god, are these lurkers gonna get scouted? Okay, well, cat's out of the bag now. Lurkers actually burrow to try to kill off that SCV, but it gets away, and the Marines are moving out, so this is a game of scouting, for sure. Both players' rushes have been scouted. Okay, looks like it's a 3 lurker. Oh my god, and the SCV sees another lurker. Just knows everything. Have to think there's some sort of detection, whether that's, okay, Queen's Nest, whether that's an eBay started or a scanner. Obviously he's got medics, so Academy must be done. Also, I'm sure trying to get those Marine upgrades, stim and range, both very important. It's like 4 lurkers total now. Seems like ChoJJa's just decided that he's going to go for a bit of a contain with these, or just leaving them out for scouting. I'm not totally sure what his plan is, actually. His plan is lair. Oh, maybe it's going to be for quick defilers, and he wants to put a Dark Swarm in iloveOov's natural and just run the lurkers under it. It's a very powerful move. Super tough return to deal with, but in the meantime, the Korean Observer actually missed a huge battle. More of a slaughter, really. Seems like some Marines walked onto probably held position lurkers and just got taken out, so not great for him. Even scouting this SCV as it maybe tries to take a third. Not totally sure. Okay. Poor SCV. It's a bad game. It's a bad day when you get told, hey, you know that place where their lurkers were? Go run through that. Have fun. Good luck, bro. So I think that's the first factory. It just got started for iloveOov. The real question is, what is Oov? I have no idea. Well, he loves it. I do like the lings scattered about. Oh boy, you definitely don't want to walk over there. So I guess these lurkers are basically to contain ramps. That seems to be what ChoJJa's been doing with them. We'll have to see. Oh, that is actually the second factory, so probably going into tanks. And yeah, the add-on does start. So 3 racks with 2 factory. This is some like StarCraft 2 style stuff. We're gonna be doing Marine tank push. Okay, lurkers are trying to move across the ramp, but iloveOov does see that. Scans and knows that not a very safe place for him to go. Firebats are coming out, so I think he may be expecting something like the Defiler lurker attack. If that is what ChoJJa plans to do here. All we've really seen is lair, or hive, excuse me. So, haven't seen a Defiler, what is it, a Defiler den? Nest? I don't know, the Defiler building. The big lizard looking thing. Obviously none out quite yet either. So, oh, actually no, there we go. Defiler is out, so I'm thinking that may well be the plan. I think Consume's not done yet, but it's probably going to be done pretty soon. Yeah, here we go. Consume is starting, so this is getting kind of scary for iloveOov. These lurkers under Darkswarm do really well, but yeah, iloveOov has made some fire bats, so he's not completely defenseless to this. The lurkers move up, and a good cloud goes down. iloveOov has to pull away from here. Okay, mines. That's actually seems like a pretty good answer, and look at all these fire bats coming down. I think this is 6 fire bats. Not a good angle for them run-in on. A couple died really just for free there. And ChoJJa is just pushing up. Pulling these, well, he's pulling them around a bit. I'm not sure if he's actually killed any of the mines yet. Maybe the lurkers actually shot them and finished them off, but he's getting quite close to iloveOov's base, and lurkers under Darkswarm. Oh my god, it looks like some lurkers took out more units there. But lurkers under Darkswarm next to your command center is a horrible feeling, and that is exactly what iloveOov is having to deal with right now. Having to lift off his CC, definitely no saving this position. Defilers are really good, by the way. I think he'd probably been better off getting siege tanks and siege. Well, these vultures are going to take a trade with some lings. Zerglings, God, a lot of them got taken out by that one mine. Pretty good for iloveOov there. Oh, excuse me, I had to sneeze. It's spring in Alberta. Well, actually no, I guess it's summer now. Lots of pollen, especially this year. More Darkswarms going down here. And there are some fire bats. I think there's 2. Actually, I think that was the only one there that just died. So now down to 0 fire bats. Not really able to fight in this area. She is very worried for iloveOov, and to be honest, so am I. Very tough position to deal with when you don't really have control over your natural. Turn on 1 base, not so fun. 2 bases, kind of, you know, whatever. That's kind of Terran's. That's really what you need. 1 base is kind of tough, but iloveOov's gonna do a counterattack. See if he can actually finish off these lurkers before they hatch. And no, they do hatch, but quick kills for those marines. So pretty good trade there. Still has this natural problem though. Okay, it looks like this is not going to be for any siege tanks. 1 add-on and both vulture upgrades done. Looks like he's just going to pump vultures from here. Oh, too bad. Those mines did not actually get to burrow. All taken out by lings and hydras before they can activate. iloveOov has switched into fire bats pretty heavily here, and that is what he's going to need if he wants to fight under Darkswarms. At least Terran has something to fight under Darkswarm with. Did he just consume a Defiler? I think one Defiler just consumed another. I'm not sure about that though. iloveOov is, or excuse me, ChoJJa is pushing across this ramp. iloveOov decides he has to pull back. I think wisely, there wasn't much he could do there, and oh man, looks like during the confusion, ChoJJa managed to sneak a couple lurkers behind iloveOov's mineral line. Probably got some kills there. We're not exactly sure how many SCVs were in the natural. Tanks are starting to pop out now, and I think that's really what he needs if he's going to be fighting off this sort of composition from ChoJJa. Okay, well, so iloveOov's not... He's playing a game now. He's got his double science facility production going. Or, what do you call those? Yeah, that's it. Don't question yourself. he's got double Stargate going. He's got a decent economy, I think. He didn't lose. Look, oh, those lings actually pulled pretty well that mine. But he's got a decent economy here. He's back on 2 base, which, like I said, is really what he needs. And I think if he can be efficient with these science vessels, maybe he can get there. I mean, killing any of these defilers would be huge, but 1 vulture probably can't do it on its own. Here we go. ChoJJa is using Dark Swarms to push into iloveOov's natural once again. But the irradiates are pretty good. I think both defilers went down there, so gonna have to pull up more from his main. And the siege tanks really help with that. Like, they're one of the units that can actually fight a little bit against those Dark Swarms. And this one, okay, there we go. Yeah, the lurkers were burrowed. Didn't look like they were going to be protected, but a good Dark Swarm comes down, and yeah, ChoJJa is able to push into that position. In the meantime, a few bio units running up to this third base, but the one sunk is just enough to fight them back. Decent tank out here. Actually doing a fair job of killing off the lurkers here. Lost one of those tanks, but I think he had maybe 3 behind that. Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't even realize there's queens in this game. That's spicy. Okay, and here's a big attack into the base here for ChoJJa, but there it is, that Dark Swarm. Science Vessels really need to kill off these defilers, but I think it's like 40 seconds for Dark Swarm, quite a long time. So he's going to be safe for a little while. Another defiler going down from an irradiate, but not without them. And honestly, you really only need the one, right? Because it just keeps eating Zerglings. iloveOov is doing a good job. His macro is really pulling through here for him. And he's got a decent army pushing into this position, but another good Dark Swarm with the Lurker Burrow forces him to pull back. Look at all these tanks, though. Yeah, okay. I was going to say not a good decision, maybe not good decision to unsiege there, but with the Dark Swarm, another one that kind of makes sense to pull back. Definitely would have been a lot of dead tanks if he hadn't. Oh, wow, that plague was pretty good. 3 science vessels with 1 plague is always a good plague. But, again, iloveOov is doing a decent job with these irradiates. He's killed quite a few defilers. He's not dead. He's still in this game. It is still looking pretty good for ChoJJa, though, as he is taking the entire map, now securing that top left base for himself. Really should just call it top left gas, because that's all that really matters up there. Bit of an odd rally for his drones. It's like iloveOov, okay, and yeah, actually now the queens are starting to get some value. Those were, I think, 2 tanks? No. Was it? Was it 2 tanks? I'm not sure. Something just got, what is it, Broodlord? Spawn Broodlorded. Broodling, there we go, not Broodlord. This isn't StarCraft 2. Look at all these tanks, though. This is a pretty strong force, and actually kind of looking like it's going to be able to push through those lurkers. Doesn't matter too much if you have a Dark Swarm down. If there's that many tanks and you have more than 1 lurker. 1 lurker under the Dark Swarm, literally forever. Oh my god, those 9s were both so good. Both killing multiple Hydras, and a drop in the main. This is a great move from iloveOov. Gonna be able to pull back something from ChoJJa. Actually killing off a hatchery. That's pretty great. In the meantime, also pushing into this base here, and it looks like he's broken it pretty well. All those lurkers are gone now. No Dark Swarms available at that location. And a lot of damage going on here. Looks like it's going to kill both the hatcheries that were here. These poor units, as they hatch, will just get absolutely shredded by Marines and tanks. Okay, ChoJJa is pushing in from a different location here now. Burrowed some lurkers, but I think there were 6 here. A couple have already fallen, and there are siege tanks. A good mine there, actually. The lurkers are too stacked. These tanks will actually be able to do a lot of damage to them. They are burrowing right next to the tanks, so at least it's going to be a fight, but iloveOov, a good move, pulling his tanks back, unsieging them in time to do that. And, well, you know, they did get into a pretty nice position with a Dark Swarm over top. We'll have to see that. Looks like it could be a pretty successful attack. Another defiler getting irradiated, but throwing down that Dark Swarm before it dies. But with all those tanks, it's not even that bad. Like, as long, oh, nice plague on those Marines, and a medic as well. Able to kill all those units off really quickly with Hydras, but with the tank out here, Dark Swarms aren't necessarily that brutal anymore. Part of what makes them so painful is just none of your units damaged, but siege tanks actually do a decent job of fighting under that. If shooting under that, they don't want to be under it themselves. They'll definitely die in that situation. But iloveOov is not mining from his natural again. It looks like he's probably mining on really like 1.5 base. The main was getting pretty close to mining out there. Pushing up here. What, I don't know. This is like the 5th or something. Not quite ready to defend itself yet. Those sunks are not quite done. Just morphing in, and it might. And the hatchery looks like it's possibly going to go down here. But no, more units rally up and are able to push that back. So a successful defense for ChoJJa. Kind of turning into a pretty epic game here. This is just such a huge tank count. They're going to kill really everything so fast. Siege tanks are just such high DPS units if you get them situated properly. Good irradiates again going down on these lurkers and defilers. And yeah, there's no Darkswarm here, so tanks are even better without Darkswarm. It should be able to push through this area pretty cleanly. iloveOov. Wondering what ChoJJa, where his defilers are. Are they all dead right now? Does he just run out? Is he run out of gas? He's got so many bases. He must be having a pretty good gas income. Oh, the question is, will these lings? Yeah, it looks like this ling will scout the base. So this is a pretty big deal. Just gonna be able to basically eliminate all these SCVs and force the CC to lift. iloveOov, though, is pushing up, and he's going to say, well, you take my base, I'll take yours. Again, a pretty long tank line, too. Tough to engage it. Poor lings sacrificed. Well, they did actually end up killing a tank, so definitely worth there, I'd say. Oh, run away, science vessel. Some irradiates do go down. The question is, does an irradiate kill a lurker egg? Seems like no. Doesn't even damage them, which I'm kind of surprised about. I think these are the SCVs from iloveOov's base that got scouted. Went on a suicide attack mission. Okay, they killed like two Zerglings. Actually, iloveOov, though, is out of minerals in his main, so he's just not mining right now. Could land his natural. Oh no, there's a lurker here still. Yeah, this is looking pretty rough for him. He's basically only got these tanks now. Yeah, ChoJJa's just retaking the bases that iloveOov has killed. I think if he brings these tanks home, he can clear this out. But losing all this pressure that, you know, iloveOov's been kind of relying on, and his only real source of damage in this little while is pretty tough for him. It's not ideal, but it's even less ideal to just not be mining. You gotta lift that CC, friend. So I think the play for iloveOov is to maintain as much of his economy as he can, and hopefully clear out his natural, and then take a third. He really needs 2 bases. Well, I'm not even sure if he has enough SCVs left to really necessitate 2 base, and ChoJJa in the meantime just has a huge army. I'd love to see the supplies right now. I'm pretty sure ChoJJa is just ahead. But siege tanks do some pretty crazy things, so let's see what they can get done here as ChoJJa does attack into this position. One lurker running too far forward, a good defense matrix on that siege tank in the front there, but oh my god, look at all these dark swarms. It's like 4 dark swarms on top of 1 square, and it looks like ChoJJa has just got enough and pushes through. iloveOov calls GG, and he is now 1-1. I think that puts ChoJJa to 2-0 after beating Yellow and then iloveOov. Pretty nice showing from him so far, beating 2 very good players. So I do hope you enjoyed this game. I hope you come back for the next one.